Tastes by nature are subjective, and in Warframe you're gonna be coming across a lot of weapons, primaries, secondaries, melees. But I gotta say, I have never seen a weapon so beautifully crafted as the Sybaris Prime. And today we're gonna be diving deeper into it. Hey guys, welcome back. As always, my name is Leyzar, and I got a couple of builds lined up. Something cheap, something affordable, something that most players will be able to build. But of course, we also got the quote-unquote endgame setup with a Riven. That said though, please keep in mind that my builds and guides usually take a new player friendly approach. That's because there's a lot of info here and I want anybody watching to understand how the weapon functions and how it should be built. And more importantly, why. So in case you're a veteran and you already know most of this stuff, please bear with me. And with that out of the way, let's jump into the Sybaris Prime. Let's start by having a look at how the weapon handles without any mods equipped. And for that, just a couple of free shots. Now, fair warning, my friends, if you're familiar with my deck Sybaris guide, this one is gonna be pretty similar to that one, but not 100% the same. The Sybaris Prime is a burst rifle, and per shot you're gonna be consuming 2 ammo. Total magazine is gonna be 20, so effectively 10 shots. And here's the one problem I have with the Sybaris Prime: the climbing recoil. So let's say you guys are trying to go for a headshot, because this is a critical weapon, right? So you're gonna aim for headshots ideally. Let's say 15 meters to the target, something like that. You're gonna see that climbing recoil. So your first shot, your first bullet might land on the target's head, but the second one might not. As you can see, this is not a 100% constant thing though, you see? These landed closely together, but these not so much. So bear that one in mind. Thankfully, nowadays, we don't really have that issue anymore because we got an weapon Exilus mod slot. When it comes to the maximum fire rate, you're looking at something like this, which is more than respectable. And enough about that, let's check out the stats to see exactly what we're dealing with. Mod capacity 60 out of 60, and if your Sybaris Prime has only 30 out of 30, jump into actions and install the Arcane Catalyst, which will be doubling your mod capacity. Now, this is a necessary step for maxing out any weapon in Warframe, though some weapons, for example like the deck Sybaris, do come with a Arcane Catalyst already installed. You can pay 20 plat for this one, you can farm one from Nightwave, you can get a blueprint from the daily sortie, and sometimes, just sometimes, it appears on alerts and invasions after dev streams. My weapon has been formatted a total of 4 times, so you don't need to sink a whole bunch of format into this one. For the weapon build, I'm recommending you guys 2 format should do it. Simply plug in 2 V symbols or Madurai. Accuracy on this one is 25. Now you can go heavy caliber. I'm not gonna stop you if you wanna do something like this, but again, this is a critical weapon. I would go for headshots and I would stay clear of heavy caliber. Critical chance as a base, we're looking at 30%, which is nice, and a 2.0 critical multiplier, which is decent. Fire rate of 4.72, a magazine of 20, but effectively 10 shots, a multi-shot of 1 bullet by default, no alarming, and 2.0 seconds on reload. I would have loved if this one was a little bit lower, something like 1.5, because again, you're only getting 10 shots, but it's gonna be good enough as it is. Riven disposition nowadays is individual. Okay, so the deck Sybaris will have 1 Riven disposition, the Sybaris Prime will have another Riven disposition, and the normal Sybaris has 5 out of 5 because nobody plays with that weapon, but we're still looking at a Riven dispo of 4 out of 5, and Rivens are 100% worth getting for this weapon. More on Rivens a tad later. Status chance of 25% as a base, which is a lot higher than the Dex version. Trigger burst, as you saw, and when it comes to the damage, they're pretty neck and neck on this one. Take a look. Impact, puncture, and slash 29, 29, 29.9, and a total damage of 88.0. Now, before we move on to the standard build, let's talk about the weapon Exilus mod slot. Normally, I say this one is optional, and unlike 60-70% of the weapons, this one is not even worth unlocking. But in this case, if you are having trouble, like I'm having trouble, with the climbing recoil on burst weapons, you might want to unlock this and plug in stabilizer. It's an option, you have other options as well, but I would suggest you at least give stabilizer a go. And with that out of the way, let's jump into a standard build. And we got a whole lot of damage with Serration, multi-shot with split chamber, as well as vigilante armaments, critical chance, critical damage combo between point strike and vital sense. Man, I really should have, yeah. Anyway, we also got the 60-60 mods forming Vital. Vital right now in Warframe, especially in combination with Slash, is the quote-unquote meta. So you got Malignant Force that you can farm from Corrupted War in the Void, and you also got Rhyme Rounds that you can farm from Spy Missions. My friends, these from the trade chat, I think they're about 10 plat a piece, something like that. I would not pay more than 10 plat, but it's easier to farm, besides you get more fun, right? Fun in Warframe, yep, of course. Hunter Munitions is here. Hunter Munitions is one of the most powerful primary mods in Warframe. It's becoming super mandatory, even more than Split Chamber sometimes, honestly. 30% chance to apply slash on critical hit. Now, you do have an option at this build, and we'll talk about options just a tad later, but initially this is gonna be the build we're gonna be going for. The proc priority right now is going to be Vital followed by Slash, which is exactly what we want. This is only possible because the 4x IPS rule is gone in Warframe. If we still had the 4x IPS rule, it would have been Slash, Puncture, Impact, and then Vital. And we're going to be testing out the weapon like so, and then we're going to be making a couple of changes to the build and see what kind of results we get. Level 120 Corrupted Heavy Goons as per usual. Now, to kill off a target like this, you're going to need 3 to 4 shots, depending on how lucky you get with your procs. 1 and a 2 and a 3. Let's put 4 in this one. Take a look at that. Beautiful, beautiful. Now, the values of the slashes are going to be the slash ticks, are going to be all over the place because it depends how many vital procs you had on your target when you got a specific slash proc. You get it? More vital procs on the target will mean a higher value slash tick, like 6,400, 10,000, and so on and so forth. This would be something like maximum fire rate, so the weapon is a whole lot more controllable than it was before. Again, you need like 3 shots. Look at that. Beautiful. 6 vital procs, 6 slashes. And a build such as this works absolutely freaking phenomenal. Actually, that's going to be a 2-shot. Yep, 2 shots made easy. As you can see, with the weapon recoil adjustment, the weapon is not so hard to manage anymore. Let's take 15, 18 meters. You see the bullets kind of land roughly in the same spot, which is why I recommend that mod in the weapon Exilus mod slot. My friends, no expensive builds here whatsoever, okay? All you got is common mods, essentially, or mostly common mods, and the weapon performs fantastically well. 100% go for something like this. But there are a few changes that you might think to make, right? What about Fanged Fusillade? What about Fanged Fusillade? You might say, hey, it's better than Vigilante Armaments because it increases the proc priority and you have a 55% status chance. That is true. It does make a difference on the weapon. On a lot of weapons, plus IPS mods really don't matter, and on certain weapons, it's meta. It's not here either. You're still gonna get more value out of Vigilante Armaments, but allow me to show you a quick test with Fanged Fusillade as well. Really quick, the same. Corrupted Heavy Goons, level 120. Same as before, we're gonna go for about 3 shots in the head. That's not gonna be enough, sadly. More multi-shot will also mean more potential slash procs. Another 2 in the head, no, another hit. Yeah, it's not so good. Honestly, it's not really all that great, but you can get lucky with the procs. Look, 3, that's might actually, yeah, that's gonna kill it. 6 slashes, 2 vital procs on the target. It really depends on RNG. But from a mathematical standpoint, I would still encourage you guys to go with more multi-shot of Vigilante Armaments. Oh, and by the way, what about that 5% chance to enhance critical hits? It's not a big deal. It's really not, from my humble point of view. You can forget about that one entirely. It's a nice bonus to have, but it really doesn't make a huge difference. So bear that one in mind. So as you can see, the build will work fine with Fanged Fusillade as well. I would try it next with Argon Scope. Do you guys have Argon Scope? If you don't have it, it comes from the Acolyte event. The Acolyte event rolls around twice a year, something like that. And this one can be extremely important. This one will grant you critical chance on headshot. You don't have a whole lot of sources for critical chance when it comes to primary weapons, and there is no prime point strike. Why, D? Why not? Come on! The weapons can't be too powerful. It's ludicrous. Ludicrous! Anyway. With this one, you're going over 100% critical chance. My friends, critical chance and critical multipliers in Warframe have a kooky way of actually working. Link in the cards right now if you want to know the full story. Now, of course, like this, I'm going to be getting more slashes out of Hunter Munitions. So let's test out the weapon like so. If you got Argon Scope, by all means, go for it. Because I know you guys love orange slashes. Orange slashes are fantastic. Red slashes are even better. Take a look at that. Beautiful. Absolutely fantastic. I think we got an orange one in there as well. 1, 2, 3 on the target. More than enough to completely annihilate a high-level target. So, of course, my friends, if you got yourself an Argon Scope, I would go with Argon Scope. Okay, simply because it guarantees your critical chance, and that is huge. All your bullets, as long as you land them on the target, will be crits now. As long as you aim down sights. Some guys don't like doing that. Some guys just play like this. And in that case, you're not going to be getting the bonus or benefit of Argon Scope. So you can forget about the mod entirely and just go with Fanged Fusillade or Vigilante Armaments. That's pretty much it, my friends. Let's talk about Riven mods. Everybody loves Riven mods. Yes, take a look at this one. Believe it or not, this one is actually mine. I forgot when I get it, but it has critical chance and multi-shot. It's a nice Riven. It can be a whole lot better, but more on ideal Rivens just a tad later. As you can see, this one took up the Argon Scope spot, basically the option slot of choice. And again, take a look at the values. Even though this is only a double positive with no negative, you still got 160% almost critical chance and 106% multi-shot, simply because you do have that 4 out of 5 Riven disposition. So let's test out the weapon like so on the same Corrupted Heavy Goons, level 120. What? Two. Is that enough? No, that's not gonna be enough. 3 on the target. Believe it or not, with a Riven such as this, even though it's not the most powerful Riven or anything like that, you can one-shot a target. Like so. Again, it depends on how lucky you get with your procs, but one-shots are 100% mathematically possible on these targets, even on 150s if you get the right procs and all whatnot. Now let's talk about ideal Rivens. From my point of view, this is what I would do on this weapon. I would get critical chance up until 100% without the need of Argon Scope, right? After which I would look towards multi-shot and then damage, or critical damage if you don't have damage, with a harmless negative or a beneficial negative, if you will. Now, I don't know, honestly, if this weapon can actually roll minus impact, but if it could roll minus impact, if you could get minus impact, yes, it would reduce a little tiny bit of damage on your weapon, but more importantly, it would remove the possibility of impact proccing, which would mean that it makes way for more slash procs or more whatever else procs and not impact. That's the point with minus IPS most of the time. Now, with a 4 out of 5 Riven disposition, the weapon can roll minus 100% impact. I just don't know if it can actually roll minus IPS. You guys let me know in the comment section down below. Now, of course, a Riven like that will set you back quite a fair amount. The quote-unquote godly or ideal Riven mod, Riven traders charge a whole lot of plat for it. What I do usually is buy a cheap one, an unrolled one, something like 40, 50, 60 plat, go to Kuva and roll my eyes out. And if I get lucky, yay. If I don't, I cry in a corner. So, there's that. Now, one more thing that we can do, bump up everything with Warframe buffs, and for that we're going to be using the ever so lovely Lady Mirage Prime and her ever fantastic buffs. When it comes to Aurora, of course, corrosive projection against Grenier. I have an actual Aura Forma installed. I promised you guys I would, and as you can see, I did. So, corrosive projection and 2 Umbral Formas in Mirage because I love her. Okay, I don't recommend anybody going this route with Mirage. I just enjoy this Warframe so much, and I always recommend you invest in the Warframes you like, not necessarily the Warframes which are considered to be quote-unquote the most powerful. Most powerful at what? Basically anything can clear everything in Warframe. When it comes to Arcane, I'm gonna go with Arcane Rage R5. Arcane Rage R5 is gonna give you 180% damage to primary weapons for 24 seconds on headshot, a 15% chance. You can farm this one from the third Eidolon down on Cetus. You can also farm it from Scarlet Spear, but it's over now, it's gone, and I'm not really sure when it will come back. The second Arcane is going to be Arcane Avenger R5, one of the most powerful, if not the most powerful offensive Arcane in Warframe. 21% chance on damage to get a 45% critical chance boost for 12 seconds. Bonus additive after it simply stacks on top of what you already have. It offers you to your primary weapon, to your secondary weapon, to your melee, basically to everything. One more thing which I am going to do, bump up the level to 150. It doesn't matter as much as it used to because of the scaling changes with mainline 2020, okay? So they're just a bit more tougher, not a whole lot more tougher like they used to be. But there you go. We're going to be unpausing the AI so I can try and actually aim for a headshot. Mirage's free ability for a fantastic damage increase as well as her ever so lovely clones. Can we one-shot? Guys, we were one-shotting before, but take a look at this one-shot. This is not a one-shot from the slash. This is a one-shot from the brute force of the weapon, okay? Fan-freaking-tastic, isn't it? As you can see, my friends, the Sybaris Prime can definitely pack one hell of a punch. And it's a weapon that I highly recommend. Before, I used to have some reservations about it simply because of the climbing recoil. But ever since we got the Weapon Exilus mod slot and we can reduce that without making a compromise, okay, then 100% go for this weapon. One more thing which I keep forgetting to mention, my friends, get yourself a Sentinel. Any Sentinel will do. For example, the Carrier Prime and get yourself a weapon for it. For example, I use the Artax. That is 7 forma on my Artax. That's a story for another time. Make sure you got all the 4 Vigilante mods, okay? 20% chance to enhance critical hits from primary weapons. It's a small, nice little buff. It's not gonna make a huge difference, but it does make a difference. Even if your little Sentinel dies and never comes back to life like the Dijin can, you're still gonna be getting that bonus. So bear that one in mind. As always, my name has been Leyzar. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like, favorite, share, and subscribe if you enjoyed the content. If you got any sorts of feedback for me, I would love to read it in the comment section down below. Also in the comment section down below if you guys want to suggest any particular type of content. Now, in all honesty, I can't exactly promise you that it'll be done by next time. Ooh, red crit. Or even within a week, because these things kind of take a while to make, but I can promise you that I will be reading through each and every comment. You can also find me on Twitch, Facebook, Twitter, all the usual places. And if you love the content, consider supporting us via Patreon. Until next time, my friends. Bye-bye. Now, fair warning, my friends, if you're familiar with my Sybaris Prime, okay. let's have a look at how the weapon handles without any minimal... Sorry.